is a lot of people. Full disclosure, I am not a professional motivational speaker. Keep your expectations low. I'm just a freaking YouTuber. Truthfully, this makes me nervous. Like, I'm a big fan of growth mindset. And something about a lot of eyeballs looking at you versus cameras is makes me nervous. And so I'm starting to take opportunities like this to get better and better. So 10 years from now, I'm gonna be real good. Today, give me some patience. So before I started YouTube, I was a mechanical engineer, so 9 years at NASA, 5 years at Apple. But the truth is, I had a secret dream job. I've said this a couple times publicly, but it's to be a teacher, to retire, and then just to go and teach in a classroom. Because what you guys do is so important. You are seed planters, and I myself am a product of some really, really good teachers, and that's what we're going to talk a little bit about today. So I'm halfway through getting my credentials. I was getting close once I quit Apple, and it will happen, but just know that I'm honored. As far as groups I've spoken in front of, this is the pinnacle for me, so. And the thing is I love that aha moment, right? Where something clicks in your brain. You guys know this. This is what you do. I'm a fellow aha moment dealer, right? I want to get people addicted to that feeling, because if you do that, and if I can do it in my videos, then they want to go out and seek that more in other aspects of their lives. And I've just had so much joy come to my life because of that interaction and that way of thinking. So how do I deal aha moments? You hide the vegetables. What I mean by that is if I want to teach you about the scientific method or chemistry, well, I'm going to do the world's largest Jello pool, a 15-ton Jello pool, right? So I get you in with that clickbaity video, and you hide the vegetables and sneak it in there. Before long, you're learning something. If I want to teach about projectile motion and terminal velocity, I'll make a backyard obstacle course for squirrels. And then I'll put them in a situation where they demonstrate projectile motion at terminal velocity. It actually sounds bad when I phrase it that way. It was very safe, Peter was cool with it. So we'll circle back to that concept and making those videos in a little bit. But for now, I want to talk about teachers, specifically 3 that were very instrumental in my life. Correlate, I guess it's the summertime, right? And so once a week, he was saying correlation does not imply causation. That was the big lesson, yeah. The statistics teachers are thank you. And it's something, just as humans and adults, 89% of all news articles with some flashy thing about some study fail at that, right? Correlation not causing, or being causation. He made it matter. So I remember everyone has a project they have to do to apply statistics. So I played soccer, but it shouldn't be surprised, I was also a nerd. So it's I analyzed penalty kicks. And, we looked at percentage. If you stand this way, what's the likelihood you're gonna kick it right or left? And at a high school level, I got really good at predicting, actually, practically, this was classroom information that actually helped our soccer team, right? And when you do that, you make a poster you can see on the wall. People do their posters of whatever their project was. And you just made it matter. If you look closely, there's also a Dr. Evil poster. And that's because Mr. Moy did a good Dr. Evil impression. And fair warning, I may cry, and I'm gonna try not to, but I'm just telling you this. So I grew up in a home, where creativity was really encouraged. And she took the job of being a mom very seriously. She was a stay-at-home mom. So here you can see I'm playing some sort of 2x4 with I don't even know what. And she had us do chores to help out with dinner and stuff. So right here, she asked me to make a salad. And I was like, oh, the onion cry thing. I should go upstairs and get our swim goggles. So I did it and I came down. And she made just such a big deal out of this. I remember this moment so well, of just like her encouraging and saying, that's such a good idea. And that feeling so good to me. And like, I know all of you in your classrooms, it's that trick of finding the moment the student does the good thing and building that up can have like long-lasting implications, right? In fact, on the back of the picture, she even, this was part of the family lore, and it just really stuck with me. But the other thing is she always, her thing was just like doing the right thing because it's the right thing. That's all you need to know, right? So this was at a birthday party. I remember this very well too. I got this really cool cap gun that was awesome. And after I opened it, I was playing with it and another kid wanted to play with it and we kind of got in an argument and I was getting upset. And so my mom took me aside at my own birthday party and I had to listen to read this book on sharing and listen to this audio cassette. And she held us to a higher standard, because sharing was important, even if it was my own birthday party. And so her thing was when we turned 18, she wanted us to leave the house. We're ready to go out and hit the world. She's prepared us, right? And eventually I did, and I was able to apply the creativity that was fostered in me as a child to help, build rovers on Mars, because I got a job at JPL. So I was there for 9 years. 7 of those were working on the Curiosity rover. And thank you. And that's a long time, right? 7 years working on one thing. In those 7 years, I had a son. And thank you. And my mom, she passed away from ALS, while we were working on the rover. And so you've got so many late nights and just really tough decision that get wrapped up in the 7 minutes it takes to go from the upper atmosphere on Mars at 25,000 miles per hour to just a very gentle touchdown at only a few miles per hour. It's 7 minutes, right? And even the signal to get something back from Mars is a half hour. So by the time we even get the signal here on Earth that we've entered the upper atmosphere, for 23 minutes, we've been on the ground, either resting majestically with everything functioning, or it's like a smoldering heap, right? So the rover has to make all these decisions on its own. So in an effort to capture what it felt like to have 7 years of your life vindicated with that beautiful phrase, touchdown confirmed, we are safe on Mars, I made this video. My mom passed away 6 months before I made my first YouTube video. And a lot of people are like, oh, they feel like, what a bummer, that's so sad, right? But I really feel like that's not true for 2 reasons. One, it's no matter what you think or believe happens after this life, it's what she did and who she was, still lives on. She's living on through what's happening even right now, right? And she had the biggest impact on my life by a very comfortable margin. And then 2, it's I love this idea that you never know the true measure of a life, the ripples from your impact, right? Even little interactions at the grocery store. And the full manifestation may not even happen while you're alive. And she was a seed planter. My mom was a seed planter. Which is why, being on this stage, honestly, it's I'm standing in a room with seed planters. And I know sometimes the work you do can feel thankless, but I'm here to remind you that it can have such a compounding effect on the world. So, all right, we made it through. I don't know why I decided to talk about my mom and my son in the same presentation. But the third teacher for me is my son, and I'm very private when it comes to my family. I don't talk about this publicly, but we did one video about him. He's autistic, and just kind of capture what it was like to live with someone who had autism and talk about what that interaction was. So this is sort of a video showcasing or a portion of it. like what he's taught me about life. I asked him, I told him I was coming here to speak with a bunch of teachers. I said, can you write a message for the teachers? And he did. And this is what he said. I love my teachers. Thank you for being a teachers. Teachers are very important. Thank you. And a bonus picture. We drew that on the back. So we're going to come back to those 3 really important teachers in my life in just a bit. But first I want to tell you about an experience that I had 2 years ago. Because I was at my buddy Jim's house, and his daughter came home, and I was just talking to her about like her science class. I saw she had a worksheet, a homework, that it looked like it had been copied and recopied like 1,000 times. And it was a worksheet where you had to like write some notes about watching a Bill Nye video. Who's like, Bill Nye is a personal hero of mine, right? And now he's a friend. And I just thought, like, it's wild that we're still using those videos so much in the classrooms. I mean, they're incredible, but since those have come out, like, 2 things have happened. 1, we have these standards now that we all teach to, right? And that just was made before the standards exist. And 2, like, these kids have grown up in the internet age. So they're used to a certain level of, like, video, I guess. If I may. How do I say this? No. And so, and that's the thing with YouTube, it's like, it's a meritocracy, right? They vote with their mouse clicks. Because, you know, when you're watching this video, there's 20 other videos on the right side that it's like, if I am not keeping your attention, you are going to click away and watch something else, right? And I've heard sometimes my videos get used in the science classrooms, but like, they're not really made for the classroom, right? I appreciate it, you guys, but it's not a great fit. And so this kind of got my brain going. As a man of science, you know, channeling my inner Mr. Malloy, I decided to gather some data. So we conducted a research study with the help of WestEd to middle school teachers in the US. We got 1,200 responses. Perhaps some of you participated. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed. I think we like offered a Starbucks gift card or something, so enjoy that coffee on me. And the results were super interesting. There's really 3 key takeaways. The number 1 thing was that the NGSS, the Next Generation Science Standards, are very important to this group. It's like 80% said it's super critical. And I also learned from that, most of you feel comfortable more or less teaching these standards. You just have to love to have more support and resources that are aligned with them. The second takeaway was that science videos are actually super popular in the classroom. My boy Bill Nye came in at almost 70%. 70% of teachers use Bill Nye videos. We threw my name on there as well. I'm at 20%. I'll take it. I'll take it. And I also learned from that, and this is an eye chart. You're not necessarily supposed to like read all these things, just to show that we really did do the study. Is that, you know, real world connections and having relatable content and avoiding jargon, that's like primo in a science video. That's Mr. Malloy right there, right? And the third thing is that basically the needs. Loud and clear, teachers want good materials, hands-on demo, interactive lessons and resources, and also like that help differentiate for students at different learning levels, right? And of course, those materials need to be NGSS aligned. So at the end, looking at all this with like my team, I'm like, I think there is a need here. There's like an opportunity and a need in classrooms for like to help these teachers out and kind of give them an assist and make them be the heroes. So we took all those insights, decided to partner up with NSTA and a bunch of teachers like you so we could make something just for teachers. And it's kind of a big deal because I'm announcing right now on this stage, I feel like Steve Jobs, this is great. Something called Class Crunch Labs, all right? Now what is it? It's 3 things. Number 1, it's all the things I've learned about hiding the vegetables for 12 years, and about making, you know, science videos that, you know, especially young folks don't click away on, right? Number 2, it's everything we learned at, you know, this company Crunch Labs I started 2 years ago, where we make these really fun and engaging hands-on STEM activities, They're super fun. We've shipped out millions of those already and learned a bunch from that. And the third thing it is you. So we're partnering with like the best teachers, the people who are here, who are in the trenches, right? Who kind of have the experience and are helping us learn how we really engage students in a classroom. And as you might expect, at the core of what Class Crunch Labs is, are these really just banger videos, all right? So here's a sneak peek. I'm gonna show you guys some clips from the first one. Now this is for MS PS2A, Forces in Motions. Okay. There we go, we got some Forces in Motion fans in the front row. All right, so here it is. This is the one for MS PS2A. And so, you know, I'm sure what you're asking yourself is like, all right, well, how much is this gonna cost? And I'll say this, like, it'll cost me like at least $15 million to make all the videos. But here's the thing, I'm not the type of YouTuber who goes out and buys like 5 Ferraris. That's just like never been my thing. I like rent a 3-bedroom townhome. That's truly how I roll, right? Another thing I know is that you guys are already overworked and underpaid. So take a page from my son about trying to be a net positive in the world, taking a page from Mr. Malloy about trying to make content as accessible as possible, and take a page from my mom about doing the right thing just because it's the right thing. I'm super happy to announce that we're gonna make all of these free. Thank you. Okay, there's a catch though. I gotta say, there's a catch, all right? I'm so sorry. I should have said that before the standing ovation. And the catch is, I don't know what I'm doing, okay? You guys are the pros. You guys are in the trenches. Like, there's a very, very deep level of humility from me and my team that knows making goofy videos is way different than actually being a teacher in the trenches. So what I'm gonna ask in return is you help us make this the best possible thing. Like, let's build this together and have a growth mindset, right? In the same way, I'm like up here trying to learn how to do public speaking better. Like, I wanna learn how to do like teaching in the classroom. And I really think 5 years from now, 10 years from now, we can look back at this moment and say like, we really did level up, you know, education in the classroom by like teaming up and working together. So, this is in beta. So today is like the official announcements of the soft launch. So even our first, we're gonna make 28 of those hero videos like you saw there. For the middle school science. We're starting with middle school. And good, I'm glad there's a lot of middle school teachers here. I was hoping it wasn't all high school teachers. And they're gonna align perfectly with the NGSS standards. That's why there's 28 of them. So we've kind of grouped up. So when you need to teach, you know, MS2, PS4, QR, whatever, there'll be a video just for that. And so, like I said, it hasn't fully like cooled down coming out of the oven. So even this first one, we want feedback on before we start cranking out all the rest of them. And we anticipate this will take us about 2 years to get all 28 done. So please come by booth 902 to check it out, give us some feedback. You can sign up to be an ambassador and also get a chance. I'm gonna be spending like at least 4 hours during the things at the booth doing like selfie videos. So you can win a chance, you get a chance to do selfie videos. I'll tell your class how freaking cool you are, all right? And if you want to see the rest of the video and check out like our first unit and like all the things that come along with it to help you in the classroom, you can check out that QR code. But I just want to say thank you so much for your time. Thank you for what you do day in, day out. Like, I'm truly honored. to be speaking. It is a thing. You guys gave me a standing ovation, but I've been standing up here the whole time as an ovation to you for day in and out, doing what you're doing. I know it sometimes could be a thankless job, but you guys are my personal heroes. Thank you.